Hey guys, this is DK Spencer. So I'm here with my Leshy 2 30 cal and my Western Airgun Sidewinder 30 cal, which is full auto. Woohoo! So I'm gonna go through a couple different things. First of all, I'm gonna show you how to tune one of these up, other than just this part. So this adjustment you can turn up or down, right? This adjustment here, it is extremely important to only turn that up under pressure. And up would be, if you're looking down the barrel of the gun, up is counterclockwise. You're unscrewing it to increase the power. All right, so you're going to unscrew it, and it's in notches. So you got to make sure that you leave it in a notch when you turn it up too. You'll know when you're turning it up if you're leaving it in a notch, but when you go to turn it down, you have to take all the pressure off. All right, in order to take all the pressure off, you have to unscrew this. You'll hear it go psst at the first, but then you got to keep going for a long ways until it goes psh, and it's completely loose. And when this is completely loose, this gauge down here, right here, will still have pressure in it, most likely. This one won't. It is vitally important before you turn this down that you bleed that pressure off. And you do that by turning it up first. Turn it in between notches up, and it'll go psh. When it finishes and lets all the pressure off, then you can cut it back into the notch it was in, or you could have just cut it up to the next notch, whatever. But that is turning up. So if you're needing to cut it down, once all that pressure is relieved, then you would cut it clockwise. If you're looking down the barrel of the gun, you would cut it clockwise. You can cut it all the way in if you want to. I've got mine up like a click or two, and I'm just barely, and I had it up way more, but I found efficient wise, I talked to Nathan at Blue Ridge Air Guns in Verona, Virginia, and he kind of walked me through how these work a little better and stuff. And I think I've found a really good sweet spot for efficiency. I mean, I'm getting like, well, I don't look at the video I posted yesterday. Several mags at good power, like 100 foot-pounds, and several, like, I would say, like, I think I can do like 6 mags, maybe 5-6 mags, and that's pretty crazy at 100 foot-pounds, 135 joules. So, and that's full auto. I mean, it's crazy. So anyway, I've got this cut up just a smidge, right? I had it cut up way more, but I found out I wasn't gaining any power out of it. All I was doing was losing some efficiency. So I cut it back down and got it kind of balanced. Now I'm kind of fed up with my chrono and having to chase the sun and stuff. So I have a really good chrono on the way. I thought it was going to be here today. So don't worry. I know people want to see all numbers and all this stuff and what I've been doing and everything, and I'm going to show you guys all that when I have the setup that I've got coming gets here, because it's going to be wicked. But anyway, so good display and everything. So that'll be fun, and then I don't have to worry about the sun. It's not that kind of chrono. I've got my yellow button and stuff like that, but these it's too fast for the yellow button to really be accurate. So the red button obviously won't even pick them up, but and the other one's a pain. But anywho, right now the Leshy is leaking, right? Leaking air. I'm tempted. I've got another one of these. Well, it's not one of these. It's this type of optic, but it's a much more expensive one than this. This is a very inexpensive optic. And it's very nice for the money, but the other one is one of the primary arms 1:6, and it's a true 1:6. So anyway, what I'm gonna do, instead of taking it off what it's on that's already sighted in and everything, I'm going to, just to see how I like, actually, you know what, I'm gonna leave that. There's no point in taking the base off, because I know I'm not going to use that base. So I might as well leave it where it is. But what I'm wanting to do I'm kind of thinking that I'm gonna have more fun with the Sidewinder if I get rid of the digital optic. So I got me a couple of different rings, and I'm gonna put the lowest profile setup I can on it, because unfortunately the way they made this thing, it's got a friggin' huge rail on top of it. So I don't like that. That's the only thing about this thing that I don't love, but that don't make sense to me. They didn't need it up there. I mean, I guess if you're using big optics and stuff, but the thing of it is, anybody that wants to use like an AR height optic on it, it's too high. It's, you know, it's already too high. You know, it would aid you with, you know, I know a lot of people that shoot air guns use these big honking huge optics. And I mean, I guess it's fun because, you know, you're precision shooting and stuff, but I'm not really into, I don't want something that's that friggin' big on something. Not unless it's like, I don't know, a Luba or something. Which I ain't gonna have. So these only have screws at the bottom, and they slide. They've got little like dovetail things, and they slide in like that. So it's an Aero Precision mount. That's what that is. They make different heights and everything, and they are the bomb. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get this out the way for now. I'm gonna fix this thing, but that'll be a different video. Okay, clear a little bit of junk out of the way. So the Sidewinder, Leshy, AEA. And I'm DK. Alright, so let me set that out the way. Now, overkill. If you do go with one of the Wraith night visions, get you a battery pack or you'll regret it. Alright, so got her slimmed down there some. We're gonna change everything. Alright. I'm going to loosen these. Alright, so this is the lowest profile of the two that I got. Now, one thing, this does have a rail that goes far enough forward where you don't have to use one of the, like the Arrow where it cants it forward. But because these typically do need to sit a little more forward. So this is the lowest one. Oh man, it's tight. And it touches though. Now, there's no way I could put it back there because I need way more eye relief than that. So okay, since I already know now that we're definitely using this this base, because it was so close, there's no way this one won't work. This is the next size up. I went ahead and took the all the screws out of the tops. So one important thing to remember, if on this kind, if if you're using this kind, the rear one needs to be your one with your level. You want to have it on the rear, preferably on the left side. These bases don't matter. There's just an empty hole. Some of them may have one less hole on that side and maybe made a little different, but like I say, these don't matter. So what we'll do, just to kick things off, I'm going to just go ahead and get my bases on, or get a base on. Alright, then I'm going to put my optic on and center it. Again, I'm going to use the one with the level back here. And I'm not tightening anything down at all yet. I don't even want it a little snug at this point. Okay. Now I'm going to get my other base. All right. I'm going to set this one down to where it's centered on that. Figure out closest place I can get. Looks about perfect right there. So I'm just going to barely snug two of those just a wee bit. I'm going to make sure that I've got my bases snugged up, not tight, but snugged up to where I know they're in place. Okay. This one we already did, so all right. Okay. Make sure that your logo goes in the same direction. sure I can still move it just a touch. I'm going to shoulder it, and I'm going to make sure that my crosshair is in a straight line with the buttstock. A lot of people will level the launcher, gun, whatever, and then level that. I do that sometimes. I find that I'm almost more effective just eyeballing it and then checking it with levels after. Okay, that's pretty freaking close. It's extremely important to barely tighten each one as you go around. Get every one of them snug. Always change sides. And tighten each one a little bit at a time. And check constantly that you have not moved your crosshair. Alright, so now, when you're in the process of holding it up and figuring out that, making sure your crosshair is in straight line with the stock, you're going to notice whether or not this thing is too close, because you're going to have to pull your head way back here. Now, this one was entirely too close, which I knew it would be. These type of optics typically have a longer eye relief. So I'm going to go on up to there. Height-wise, again, this thing is built with the riser, so unfortunately, you just have to try to get the lowest rings that the scope will work with. See, if I'd have put the ones from the Leshy on there, it would have set it considerably higher. So, I'm not going to really tighten that. I'm just going to shoulder it. That is a heck of a lot better. So, once you get to the point that you think you've about got it right, then what you do in order to make it perfect is you close your eyes. You pick it up, you put it to your shoulder, and you open your eyes. When you open your eyes, if that scope is perfectly in view, which mine is, luckily, if it is perfectly in view, then that's exactly where you need that optic. If you have to move your head back, then that means the optic needs to go more forward. If you have to move forward, then that means the optic needs to come back. Very important. But literally, I got very, very lucky on that. And when I opened my eyes, I had my full field of view in focus in that optic. So that's exactly where it needs to sit. So, we got rid of the big battery pack, considerably lighter. This is a pretty nimble piece anyway, so I wanted to take advantage of that. I'm going to switch this out. I didn't even put I knew I wasn't going to leave it on there. I didn't even put the cap on it. But, yeah. So, that's pretty sweet. So, obviously I can't video through this, but, I could do other things with the videos.